Hey guys, CryptoDad here again. Thanks for joining me on my live stream Friday night Q&A here from Michigan, where you can throw out questions and I'll do my best to get them answered. We'll talk about the news, we'll talk about the price of Bitcoin and altcoins, and we'll talk about encryption, privacy and security, all that kind of stuff that underpins cryptocurrencies. So let's jump right in. Oh man, I was actually going to change my shirt before we started for my Bitcoin shirt because I had this shirt on last week too. I got it as a Christmas present. Really like it. So Bitcoin broke 9,000 overnight. I think it's trying. It's still trying to. We'll see what happens during the live stream. There's big news on the price front. And then I've got some other stories about encryption in general, some stories about altcoins for the new year that you might find interesting. And as always, check down in the description. I've got links to all the news stories that we're going to be covering tonight. And also check out my affiliate links. I've got a crypto.com affiliate link down there, my Ledger affiliate link. I've got my Brave browser affiliate link, my Binance US affiliate link. None of these are going to cost you any money. They're just, if you're interested in any of these items or services, I would appreciate it if you explore them using my link. You don't even have to buy anything if you don't want to, or sign up for anything. But check all that stuff out. They're products that I use and believe in. So let's jump into the news. See where we're at here. Okay. All right. So once again, Alex. Alex. It's my little boy screaming again, as usual. I'm going to adjust my res here so you guys can see my full screen. I usually do 4K. But I'll go down to, plain old HD for you guys so you can see stuff. I figured out early on when I was doing my videos that a lot of times I would do demos and I would have like so much real estate around what I was demoing. Like web browsers aren't really meant for 4K in many web pages. Anyway, let's dive in. First of all, shout out to Neil Peart, who passed. This particular video, the album cover is a little blurred. I don't know why, but I love that song, Spirit of the Radio. Great tune, great stuff. Rush, excellent band. I bought my first Rush album in 1977. Must have been Farewell to Kings, maybe a year or two after that. But awesome group. There's a great article here about Neil Peart and how the Rush music has been streaming since he died. So let me just throw that in there just so you guys can check that out too. Great stuff going on with Rush. Sad to see Neil Peart pass before his time. All right, so let's dive in for our first major Bitcoin story. Let me see, where is that guy? Here it is. Bitcoin tops 9,000 with best start to a year on record. A lot of people like to talk about records and charts and, and all that kind of stuff. So I guess Bitcoin has, it topped 9,000 overnight, and it hadn't done that since November, so that's a record, or I guess, or a statistic, whatever you want to call it. But in the years that Bitcoin has been around, this is the best start for a year, right? And then also, the altcoins are soaring as well. But from what I understand, I guess, I don't know if Bitcoin is the best performing asset so far of the year. But things are looking good all across the board for Bitcoin and altcoins, right? There's been quite, and I'll show you some of the altcoins that I've had my eye on. Yeah, but that's a great story. So let's go over to our good old friend, if I can find him. Crypto, what do they call this thing? CoinMarket.cap. Let's look at Ethereum. Let's look at Ethereum over the last month. All right. So, it's not as crazy. They don't have the percentages here, I guess, when you switch. I don't know if that's daily, 24-hour, or for the 3 months. But let's see where we are. Where are we looking at here? December. All right, so here we go. Ethereum was 129. And now today it's 173. So that's, I don't know, that's about 20, 30, maybe pushing at 40. Okay, kids are going to be a problem tonight, I can tell already. Let's look at Binance Coin. Binance Coin, let's look at the 1 month for Binance Coin. Let's look at 3 months. We can get it. There we go. All right. December 1245, right? Today 1822. So that's quite a jump. Let's take a look at our old friend Monero, privacy-based coin. Looking at the let's look at the 1 month chart for Monero, right? Monero was $45 December 18th, and today it's like 70, just cracked 70, right? So that's like a 40% gain. So good looking charts, you know. You can say all kinds of things about charts like these, and you can say, oh, they're you know, they're off to the moon, or you can say they're due for a pullback. I mean, there's all kinds of things you can conclude about these types of charts. But you know, the long and short of it is that the altcoins and Bitcoin are up quite a bit. There are a lot of good things happening price-wise, right? And news-wise. But let's see. Kids are having fun. All right, so let me look at another news story. Actually, let me greet everyone that's here tonight. A lot of people here tonight. Let me say hello, and to all the regulars and the newcomers. Okay. All right. This tell me transfer yours to my ledger. Okay. Tig, good evening. John Blackburn, good evening. Celtic fan from Michigan, good evening. Have you earned anything from staking from Tezos? Yes, I have, as a matter of fact. We'll check that real quick. I received 0.015401 Tezos, a big fat 2 cents in US dollars for the amount that I have staked. But I don't have that much staked, right? I have $49 worth of Tezos staked. So it's not a huge amount, right? But yeah, you know, staking is not a get-rich-quick scheme by any means, right? Let's keep that in mind. Staking coins is like putting money in the bank back in the day, right? When we were kids, when I was a kid, you know, savings account paid pretty good percentage, but it wasn't like, hey, put your money in the savings account. You're going to be rich tomorrow. You know, it's going to be, you know, maybe in 20 years, you know, that $100 that you put in the savings account will, you know, be a lot more, and you know. So that's what staking's all about. We're not getting rich quick by staking our coins, but we are earning interest on our coins that would have otherwise been sitting around. Okay, CFI Randy is here. Hey, Randy, good to see you. Great seeing you, you know, in the other world, the real world kind of thing. Jason Clement, hello. Shah Yosef. Mr. David is here. Again, thank you so much. J-Mac. Block Chains, good to see you. Betty, hello. You're on time. Don't know how much longer I'll be able to join live. Already do some sales work and just signed up to become a Dash driver. Got a chop with retirement. Doesn't cut it. Mr. David, hello, Betty. You know I'm doing that Tuesday morning, too. Hi from snowy St. Paul, Minnesota. Western Michigan's supposed to get about a foot of snow overnight, too. Rick N., Danny Soto, G. Graham from Shasta. A lot of people here tonight. It's great. Marvin, hello. Marvin, I tried so hard to get my Brave to work with my YubiKey, and I've got a USB YubiKey, like a USB 2, and I also have this guy. I could not figure out this whole thing about the YubiKey working as a Brave security key. When I tried to use my YubiKey in Brave and I tried to do a reset, it said something about you cannot reset this security key. So I'm wondering if it's some kind of other type of security key, some company. I don't know. I tried my best to get this YubiKey thing to work in Brave, and then the article that I shared with you about YubiKey and Brave was that you could use your Lightning connector in Brave browser to log into certain sites that you normally would also log into using a regular web browser on your desktop, and they were compatible with YubiKey. But that whole thing about where you go to settings and privacy and it says something about security keys, I don't even see that in the iOS version of Brave. I only see that in the desktop version of Brave. So sorry I couldn't get that straightened out for you. I guess the hunt is still on. I am a fellow Michigander, yes. I am out of Grand Rapids. Okay. All right, so let's, I just want to point out some of these articles. I'm not going to talk a lot about, let's see where we are here. This particular article, because it's pretty long, but like I said, there's a link down in the description below, and you should check it out. It's all about altcoins and famous personalities, traders, crypto gurus, and people involved in the industry, and they're talking about their favorite altcoins. So and some opinions about. I think there's one opinion here that I kind of agree with, where he talks about Ether, of course. Ethereum is looking good lately. Okay. Yeah, Eric Crown, a Wall Street trader, where he talks about Bitcoin being the big mover of the cryptocurrency markets in general. And I think along those lines myself, and I don't know if I'm right or he's right, but I do sort of agree with this philosophy that if Bitcoin were to test its all-time high, then it would start to get some real attention. It's getting some attention right now because it's on the rise. But no one in the mainstream is really going to pay much attention to Bitcoin until it breaks that all-time high of 20,000 again. Everybody, when they, the mainstream people, when they talk about Bitcoin, they always talk about the all-time high of 20,000 and how it's not there anymore. So until Bitcoin breaks that all-time high, we're not going to see any real magical interest in Bitcoin. Traders and institutional investors and cryptocurrency people, but you're not going to see that all-out rush to buy Bitcoin until it tests that all-time high again. That's when everyone's going to pick up and stand up and take notice of Bitcoin. That's my opinion. All right. So Check out this article. As far as I'm concerned, you guys know me. I tend to stick with the top 10, top 100, but I can't help but say good things about Ethereum. It's the granddaddy of the virtual machine cryptocurrency, smart contract type cryptocurrency, really big in 2017. All-time high of Ethereum is like 1300, and we're still at 172. A lot of room to go up for a lot of these. They're up quite a bit, but they were really beaten down. So as far as my thinking is, of course they had some room to come back up again. But I mean, as far as all-time highs, like I said, 1100, or let's say 1300, that's a 10 multiple of 10 of where we're at now. XRP was $3 back in 2017. Bitcoin Cash was over 1,000. Litecoin was 330 in 2017-18. Binance Coin was up around 40 at the beginning of 2019. Stellar, I can't think of what its all-time high is right now. Monero, 330. I remember it being 330. Tron, I think 8 cents. Cardano was $1 back in 2017. Here it is, at 4.5 cents. So, I don't give investment advice. I'm not a professional investor, but if you're interested in any of these coins, they're dirt cheap as far as where they were in 2017. That's all I'm saying. Chainlink is fairly new on the block. It's gone up quite a bit since its debut, but it is off its all-time high, recent. Okay, Cosmos, another interesting coin that's been in the news quite a bit lately. So yeah, check out your top 20. ETH was 120 about a month ago. Yes, indeed, it was. Yes. So I want to talk a little bit about, I don't want to bore you guys, but I do want to point out this story about, let's see here. Yeah, I don't generally read CNBC or talk about CNBC articles on my channel much because CNBC doesn't always cover cryptocurrency. They do when it's up. But this is an article about Apple's fight with Trump and the Justice Department, which is more than about 2 iPhones, right? Those of you who aren't familiar, there was a mass shooting in Florida that involved a Saudi Arabian national who was here for training. His phone, I guess he is deceased. I'm not sure. I think they can't get into his phone, right? He had 2 phones, and the law enforcement wants to get in his phone, and they want Apple to unlock the phone for them. Now, this article or this issue has arisen, and this particular story has sort of brought it to a head, and encryption is a mathematical technology. Really, it doesn't really lend itself to. I don't know what I don't want to call anybody dumb, right? None of these people are dumb, right? No dummies get, to be the head of the law enforcement for the United States. But they have their own view of things, right? And encryption, and this is my opinion, encryption is not the kind of technology that can easily be, like cracked open like a nut and, to give someone access. Now, I get it, right? I get the law enforcement position, right? They feel like they should be able to view the contents of a phone if they have a warrant, right? And that makes perfect sense to anyone, right? Just like if someone is a mass shooter, they're generally going to go search his house, and they'll get a warrant, right? It stands to reason that law enforcement should search, a mass shooter's house to find out, what happened. Maybe there's other people in danger. Who knows, right? But when we're talking about a device that's locked with encryption, it's a whole different ball game, right? To say, to walk up to math and say, math, unlock yourself, it's a little ridiculous on the face of it, right? We're not talking about, a house where you can unlock the door. We're talking about mathematical encryption. And we know this encryption is what underpins Bitcoin. Cryptography, pardon me. Bitcoin is not encrypted. Bitcoin is a transparent blockchain that uses digital signatures to verify private keys and ownership, right? And if it were crackable, then it wouldn't be no one would really trust it, right? So, and if you take encryption and you try to build in backdoors, you're just asking for trouble. We talked about, David and I talked about the NSA. And there's people at the NSA that were found to have been abusing their privileges of having access to these surveillance tools. And they were keeping an eye on ex-girlfriends, all kinds. And these are people that are actually working for the government, right? So if the government is allowed to have backdoors into everything, it's going to get abused by the people that are supposed to be watching us, right? And who's to say that somebody working for the government has a drug problem, has having an affair, has a gambling problem, won't be leveraged by a bad actor, a hacker, another government? So once you give someone the keys to the kingdom, those keys are now compromised. And that's why encryption is what it is, right? It's math, and it cannot be compromised by a human weakness, right? It's math. Trying to build some kind of encryption scheme that allows one person in is just not going to work, right? Anyway, that's my opinion. Check out this article. It's a fascinating subject. I think I linked to a couple of other articles about the encryption issue there, the fight against encryption. And I think there's a quote here that I like pretty good. This is exactly what's happening here. Encryption is mathematics. You cannot magically add good guys versus bad guy logic into math. What they're asking for is impossible. And even if it were somehow magically possible, we all know that in the end, the good guys would abuse this system 100% of the time in 100% of the cases. Now, I don't know about 100%, but like I said, the good guys get tempted too, right? Hey, let me see what my old girlfriend's up to, Let me check out, I want to make sure that my girlfriend, the guy my girlfriend's dating is an okay guy. So, I'm going to bend the rules a little bit and use these surveillance tools for my own benefit. That's what happens when, people get key backdoors, right? And like this gentleman says, building the back door is not even really a realistic, request, really, because it's mathematics. Anyway, I won't bore you about encryption, guys, but let's move some crypto around. Let's see. I just want to double check all the stories that I put up. There's a little story here about how to choose a Bitcoin wallet. For those of you who are new to the live stream, we talk a lot about Bitcoin wallets, and a lot of people don't really know what a Bitcoin wallet is, what the difference between a hot wallet and a cold wallet, and a cold storage and hot storage and private keys and all that stuff. I'm sure I put it in here. There we go. How to choose? Oh, there it is. How to choose Bitcoin. Yeah, check out this article about Bitcoin wallet. It's not the most comprehensive article about Bitcoin wallets, but it does sort of kind of give you an overview of the pros and cons of different types of wallets. So, you know, we talk about different kinds of wallets here. I generally stick with the ledger, but then I also use cryptocurrency exchanges. Cryptocurrency exchange wallets can be considered hot wallets or custodial wallets where, you know, someone else has custody of the keys. So let's check it out, guys. Let's move some Bitcoin around. Yes, everyone be safe out there driving. Blah, 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 blah. You probably heard about Ledger's new terms and conditions. What happens if they take off one coin from their wallet? Will I get my coins lost? Oh, okay. So I guess the question here, and I get this is a common question, so don't feel, you know, the only bad question is the one that goes unasked, right? So the question here is, okay, so I'm using Ledger Live. I went out and I bought this brand new Ledger Nano X, this cold storage hardware wallet that I can use to keep my crypto safe, and everybody's happy. And I've got some XRP, and they support XRP, and I'm going to store my XRP in this wallet. So the question is, what happens if Ledger suddenly decides not to support that coin anymore? I'm not sure if that's ever going to happen, but let's just assume. Let's just say Bitcoin decides not to support Bitcoin Cash anymore, right? What are you going to do? Well, there are ways that you can recover the private keys to the wallets that you store using Ledger Live. We've talked about this on several occasions. Let's go over here to...
I'm gonna go drive it.
Oops. This is the BIP39 tool, right? And we can generate ourselves a 24-word recovery phrase here. Now, you could also type this recovery phrase into this box. And so what happens when you do that is it generates a seed for you and some private keys down a little further. There's the private key, right, of that Bitcoin wallet. This is a random Bitcoin wallet, right? But let's say that all of a sudden Ledger decides they're not supporting Bitcoin Cash anymore. You can take your 24-word recovery phrase, carefully type it into this tool, not online, right? You do this offline. There's a way to do this offline. It's a bit complicated, but basically you can download this tool, you can run it in a browser when your computer is completely disconnected from the internet, right? So you want to do this right? But this tool can be used to generate, and let's go from coin. Let's go to BCH, right? I can find it. Don't they have it? There it is, Bitcoin Cash, right? So now what we've done is we've taken a random 24-word recovery phrase and we've managed to generate the private key for our Bitcoin Cash, right? And then we could take that private key and import it into a different wallet, right? So this is all math, right? Ledger doesn't have a copyright on the different ways cryptocurrency is stored, right? They comply with industry standards. One of the industry standards they comply with is the BIP39 protocol. That's how you get your 24-word recovery phrase when you initialize your Ledger device, right? So that 24-word recovery phrase can be used to recover your device if it gets lost, stolen, crushed, or splashed in, doused in tomato juice, whatever. This all you got to do is go out and buy another device, and you can use that recovery phrase to restore. Or if Ledger suddenly goes out of business and they don't use Ledger Live doesn't work anymore, you can use your 24-word recovery phrase to import all of your wallets into a different platform, right? There you can generate the private keys and pull them into different wallets. So don't ever worry about Ledger going out of business. I know it's a very, very common. I get that question a lot. What if Ledger goes out of business? What if Ledger? I wake up one morning and Ledger's not there anymore. Am I going to lose all my Bitcoin? No, you are not. All right. Okay. So what I want to do is let's move some coins from an external account to my Ledger Nano X, right? All right, so we'll start with, yeah. As you can see here, I've named my accounts meaningfully for me so that I can keep them straight, right? I have a couple of donation addresses, and then I've got a Ledger Black. You can manage multiple devices. This is a Ledger S device. Let's make that a little more meaningful. Right, so it makes more sense to you guys. So I can manage multiple accounts. There's a Ledger. I have a Ledger Black around here somewhere. Where he went? Oh, here he is. Right. So I've got two different ledgers, and I can use Ledger Live to manage both of these in the same copy of Ledger Live. All right. But what we're going to do right now is I'm going to transfer some Bitcoin from an exchange, a hot wallet, into my hardware wallet, my cold wallet. Right? So here's the wallet, right? And I'm going to enter my PIN on my device. I'm just going to do this one transfer, and then I'll scour for some questions.
Wait, let him tell him.
I want to try to stay responsive to you guys. Okay. All right, so I have my device connected to my computer with a cable, and I'm just going to show you what you see on the device. And I'm going to move this down here. All right, so I want to receive some Bitcoin. I'm going to generate the receiving address first, right, before I go withdraw. So there is the receive, and I'm going to choose this account, came up. Now, what is the Ledger Live asking me to do? It says connect and unlock my Ledger device. Done. Now it says open the Bitcoin app on my device. All right. That means it wants me to go into the Bitcoin app. As you'll notice, the Bitcoin app is highlighted. So in order to enter it, I just hit both buttons. All right. As soon as I do that, it says application is ready, and Ledger Live gives me 2 checks and tells me I'm ready to continue. All right. Now it wants to verify the device address, right? So I'm going to hit continue here, and you'll notice, right, it generates a brand new Bitcoin address every time we do a transfer if you do it properly this way. You can use the same address over and over again, but it's much more private and secure to let Ledger generate a new sending address to your wallet every time you use it. All right, so there we go, and I can look on my device and make sure that the address matches what I see on my screen. Looks pretty good. Now, a lot of people miss this step. You need to tell the device that you've done this, right? There's a little arrow over here that says go to the next screen, right? And there it says approve. So I need to approve it by hitting both buttons.
Well, you're playing Phantom Forces.
right? And once I do that, you'll see that this screen becomes dismissible, right? There's like a little X there now. But I'm not going to dismiss it, right? I'm going to use my phone now. So I'm going to turn off that little camera there. Let's go over to my phone. Oops.
What rank are you in Phantom?
That's not looking good. Let's stop mirroring for a second. Get it back so the phone looks right. There we go. All right. So we're going to go over to Crypto.com. Crypto.com is a cryptocurrency app that you can use to buy and sell cryptocurrency. Right? And I've got some Bitcoin stored in there. Right? Now, this is a custodial wallet, right? They're holding that Bitcoin for me. Right? And so I've decided, I bought that Bitcoin, right? And I want to withdraw it into my own wallet, right? I want to put it in a wallet where I control the private keys, which is the Ledger Live is the interface to my own wallet, right? This thing is like a keychain. It holds a bunch of my private keys. So now that we've got that address, let's go over to the Bitcoin in my wallet, right? I'm going to hit transfer. And then I'm going to tap where it says withdraw Bitcoin. And as you can see, I've done this many times, right? We're going to do a new address, right? Because it's safer and more secure to use a new address each time. So I'm going to hit plus up there in the top right corner.
Josh, join us in Obama's revenge.
All right. And then, okay. It wants a Bitcoin address. Well, the easiest way for me to get the Bitcoin address is to just scan that QR code on my screen, right? So you can see there on my phone, there's a little tiny QR code icon. I'm just going to tap that, and it's going to open up the camera, and it's going to scan that address in there, and there you go. Now I didn't have to type that because could have easily made a typo. Let's do live stream.
Yeah, I'm your mother.
Ledger
I'm so tall. Look at me.
X. Right? It's tough for me to come up with a new name for each one of these. You can use your own system like 1, 2, ABC, whatever. But you should, you know, you have to give it a name or a label, right? So I'm going to hit continue. Right? And then it wants my two-factor authentication. You should always enable two-factor authentication for all of your accounts that support it, right? So definitely your cryptocurrency exchange accounts. I'm going to go over to my Google Authenticator, and then up there at the top is my Crypto.com code. I'm going to tap that code, and it says copy into my clipboard. Now I'm going to slide back over. I'm going to tap and paste, and then I'm going to hit continue. Now it's going to send me an email to confirm that new withdrawal address, right? I'm going to tap that. I'm going to confirm it by tapping confirm there. It's going to open my browser and then take me back to crypto.com. Right? And there we go. I've got that live stream Ledger Bitcoin address now. I'm going to hit send BTC. And then if I go into that field and edit, you can see down there it says max BTC. I can just tap that right below the send. If I tap that amount, I'll send the max amount of BTC to my Bitcoin wallet address, right? I'm going to hit confirm.
Okay, so in 2008, John McCain.
And then I need to put in my two-factor authentication.
We gotta go.
So we'll go back over to that. Let's, I'm going to try. I may not get it in time. I'm going to tap, paste, continue. Yeah, I was running out of time there. That code was about to expire. But we're good, right? So I just emptied out the Bitcoin wallet. I got an email confirmation that I did that. And then also you can look down there in your wallet. You can look in your Bitcoin wallet. In case you're wondering what happened to your Bitcoin.
Give me a random word. Give me a random word.
It's going to be there soon. There we go. I can scroll down a little bit. You can see it says withdraw BTC pending. Right? And I can even tap on that and it gives me the address that I sent it to. Right? That matches the address that we see on our screen. So we can rest assured that the withdrawal is pending, and we may or may not get that BTC in the wallet before the live stream's over. Sometimes BTC withdrawals can take longer than other cryptocurrencies. All right. So that's a transfer from a hot wallet, which is crypto.com. We call that a hot wallet, over to my own wallet where I control the private keys. The Ledger Nano X holds the private keys for my Bitcoin wallet. And
guys, you want to play Isle?
we're good.
Wait, I can show you how to play Isle.
Kids are screaming again. I apologize. If they get political pressure. Yeah. Political pressure, it's hard to say. You know, I guess the question is, what if somehow Ledger doesn't support Monero anymore? Your private key. I don't think that there's any way. See, once you get your Ledger device, it's under your control. So there's no way Ledger is going to reach out and erase the private keys to any of your wallets, right? It's designed to withstand that sort of attack, right? And it's tested by third parties. I also get a lot of questions about what if Ledger is like Dr. Evil's son, and they've been fooling everyone by, you know, sending out all these hardware devices that they know the private keys to, and that one day, you know, when, you know, the evil overlord, you know, waves his hand, they're going to steal everybody's Bitcoin. It's a great story, but unfortunately, the Ledger devices are tested by third parties, you know, and they're also certified by third parties. So if it were just one huge scam, it would have been discovered already, right? They go through independent testing, right? They are cryptographic devices which generate random private keys when they're initialized. If they were doing otherwise, they would have been discovered by now. So if Ledger goes out of business, you're not going to lose your coins, and Ledger is not going to suddenly steal all of your coins one day. That's not the way these devices are designed. They wouldn't be selling very many devices if that were the case. If someone were using salt instead of sugar in their lemonade, they wouldn't be in business very long. All right. My Ledger Nano X broke, but Ledger sent me a new one. Great support. Nice story. I like that. I do get a lot of people complaining about Ledger support, that it's not very responsive. They are, you know, they are in France, and I'm sure they're busy too. So, but they're, you know, they'll solve problems eventually, right? So patience is the key. But I remember back in 2017, during the boom, I sent them some emails, which took quite a while to get responses from. But, you know, in most of the things that I've dealt with in cryptocurrency, you're kind of on your own anyway. This is a thick subject matter. Cryptocurrency, wallets, Bitcoin, all that stuff. You're kind of on your own. It's not like, oh, I don't know. You know, it's not like when you buy a new toaster and you have trouble and you just, you know, you take it to the store and they give you a replacement, or you pick up the phone and you call the guy and he walks you through it. You know, I mean, it's just not, it's not like the hand holding that we're used to in our culture, right? In the Western culture, we kind of expect retailers and companies to sort of walk us through things when we have a problem, you know, like the phone company. I want to get to the bottom of this. let me talk to your supervisor. I mean, that attitude is not always going to serve you well in the cryptocurrency, right? Sometimes you're kind of, you got to figure it out on your own. You got to go on forums. You got to find someone with a similar problem, that kind of stuff. All right. Graham, G. Graham, thank you very much. Graham is asking me how to transfer Theta from a Theta wallet on iPhone to a Nano X. Can't find it anywhere. Theta wallet on an iPhone to a Ledger Nano X. Well, unfortunately, Theta, in its current form, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I do believe that Theta. I'm gonna close all these. Just too many. Let's get rid of this too. Okay. Yeah. Theta, it has its own blockchain, as far as I understand, right? Okay.
Wait, when the game loads and you're on the plane, talk. Send the
Okay.
messages in chat, okay?
So the question is this right? Let's see here. Okay.
Wait, hold on.
Is that correct? Let's go to sometimes I land on the last week I was talking about I had misunderstood someone, and so I forget what it was, but I had the name wrong. He's like, no, it's not that, it's that. Anyway, we got it straightened out. All right, so let's go to price chart. Let's go over to CoinGecko and look up Theta. Just make sure I'm doing the right. All right, there we go. Yeah, Theta. Icon looks similar. All right, let's check out their website. Okay, why isn't it? Oh, okay.
Are you?
Are we there? Okay, right. This is it. This is Theta. Okay. So what we want is a wallet that's compatible. Right? Now, it takes me to this web-based page. So, what? Oops, it keeps taking me to this. Don't have a wallet, create a wallet. Okay, let's go into Ledger Live. Let's go to the Ledger Live Manager. And let's install the latest Theta app on here. All right. So I need to get out of the Bitcoin app, right? So I'm just going to go to the side here with this button till I get to quit. I'm going to hit both buttons. All right. Now that I'm at the home screen, it's going to allow, it's going to ask me to allow the Ledger Manager to interface with my device, right? So I'm going to hit both buttons. Now we're going to look for Theta. What? Where is this thing?
Hey guys, you want to play the Obama Zone?
Do you see it? I don't see it.
Let's play Naruto and Obama.
I thought that they supported it. Maybe they don't. You know, when I think last here, let me turn this off. Let's go to ledger.com. Let's go to crypto assets. Let's go to Theta. Right? Apparently they support it. THETA. But when I'm in Ledger Manager, I don't see it. Am I blind?
Most engaging minor payment device. I know, I just noticed.
Okay. All right, let's try another tack here. I'm going to use the Ledger S and see perhaps I'm just going to disconnect that one. And we'll connect our S and see if maybe it supports it on the S. Stranger things have happened, right? Got to enter my PIN.
What about Mint? That showcase?
All right, so now I've attached my ledger S, right? And it wants me to allow the ledger manager, so I'm going to hit both buttons. Okay. Oops. All right, now let's see if there's a Theta. TH Theta. I don't see Theta on here.
I'm pretty sure it's a role play.
I could have sworn it was there before. I don't know why it's gone.
Oh yeah, I remember playing this. How do you win a role play though?
Sequilla, Ethereum. It's not like I had it on. I could have sworn that they used to have the Theta app. Huh. Interesting. Very interesting. All right. Let's do well in situations like this. We would do a little research. Let's do Theta ledger. Let's try that.
Why is one of my names Papyrus?
Now, okay, we're back to this again. Okay. This is May 23rd.
I have so many characters. Look, I have
Make sure. Oh, Ethereum. Okay, but still, I thought that Theta had its own blockchain. This looks out of date.
Stick, which is newborn and has ice powers. Branch, which is
All right, let's try the Ethereum app. Okay, so let's create a wallet.
Mewy. Nice picture.
Okay.
Then there's Riley, which is a female kid, not very shy and nice. Not very shy. I'm gonna play as Riley, okay?
All right. Okay. Okay, it wants me to download a key store. I'm going to move this over here in case it shows me a private key or anything.
You'll be
All right, so I'll put this on my desktop. I guess that's my key store.
I'm Riley, okay?
All right, so see now it's going to give me my 12 words. So I'll try to keep this quick. All right. All right. Continue.
My name is
Okay.
Riley, it's my old roleplay. Where are you guys?
So you write down your wallet name and the date. What is today? The 17th, 18th, 17th. All right. I'm not going to put a bunch of Theta in here, but
Yeah. How do you win a roleplay?
I thought that Theta had its own blockchain. But I could be wrong.
It's a roleplay. How do you? I love how Maui is bigger than but Maui is the kid.
And identity.
No,
Okay.
I'm in a town. Wait. I'm in a town also.
Seriously. Oh. Okay. This is why we number them, because I skipped one.
Where are you guys?
All right. Okay. It's a 12-word recovery phrase, and I only had 11 words on there, so I had skipped it. All right.
Where are you
I'm going
guys?
to hit continue. Okay. Now, it says I'm ready. Let's unlock the wallet. And I would like to use hardware. Let's try Ledger.
Okay.
Connected, and it wants the Ethereum app open. Okay.
There's a cat.
So let's go ahead and use my Ledger X for this one.
Literally. He
We're almost there.
They're cats.
All right. Whoops.
What are they doing?
I could have just done this from the beginning. I didn't really need to write down that
The horse is also,
standalone
also good.
private key store thing. Because in this case, it's using my ledger to store the private keys, right? So, but it wants me to go into the Ethereum app of the device, right? So I'm gonna tick over to Ethereum, and I'm gonna hit both buttons, right? Now, does it have Ledger Live here? Oops, let me check. Yeah, see, it's got Ledger Live derivation path, right? So I'm gonna hit that. Gonna hit continue, right? I'm in the Ethereum app.
One of them is cat, one of them the horse. Are you guys at the city?
Okay, and there we go. I guess I can choose different ones, right? We'll hit access my wallet.
I can head over to Bubble Brook.
And there, I've just created an empty Theta wallet. And you say you have a phone-based Theta wallet, right? So I'm going to choose receive here. There's the Theta address. And so you could send your Theta from your phone-based app to this address. All right. Let me just check to see real quick if Crypto.com has Theta. Let's see.
This is my old character.
I don't think they do.
This is my old character.
All right. Let's check to see if
I'm being kicked. Oh my god.
whoops, let's get rid of that.
I know.
Oh, let's see if they support it or not. Theta. No. Where the heck do you get Theta anyway?
At Bubble Brook.
I'm assuming that BINANCE proper probably has it.
Oh my god. I'm swimming in the lake.
Let's see here.
Why is the human swim a lot faster than me? I'm so slow. There's a whole blue part.
Okay.
Bubble Brook.
Two-factor. All right, come on, BINANCE. Give us some Theta here. All right, there. Okay, so BINANCE US has Theta, right? So if we hit withdraw, then we should be able to go back over to our Theta wallet, wherever it went. What happened to it?
Oh, no, it's
Oh,
Abu
seriously?
Arabic.
Oh, you're kidding me. Okay, there it is. I don't know. I guess it opened a new browser window. See, I could copy that into my clipboard, and then we'll go back over to, let's close these. They were sort of just in the way. And then I could withdraw to that address, right? I don't have anything in my BINANCE account right now. So, but that's the process, right? And then I could put, all of my Theta or a small amount of my Theta over to this new, where is that thing anyway, right? So yeah, it's a web-based Theta wallet that is using the Ledger Nano S, or X in this case, using the Ethereum app to store the private keys for this Theta, right? God, I mean, maybe Ledger Live supports Theta. Let's go over to accounts. I guess not, because well, maybe they do.
Wait, can I do that?
Let's go add token.
Wait, what's
Oh, no, I guess not. Yeah, it's no longer an ERC20 token, right? So it's not really supported as an ERC20 token. You have to use the Theta wallet even though the receiving address looks like an Ethereum address. Actually, that's my Ethereum address. That's weird. Okay. But I guess I can only manage it using this web-based Theta wallet. Call me crazy, but I guess that would be the way to manage Theta in a ledger device, right? That would be the way I would do it, right? But only transfer a small amount of your Theta into this wallet and make sure it works. Make sure you see the Theta appear in this interface. Now, remember, this website could disappear, but you would still have the Theta in this device, right? The private key for the Theta would be in there. But I got to this by going to the official Theta website and following a link that took me to that, right? Right, that's the official Theta web-based wallet. And all you do is you go over here to hardware, hit ledger, and you can manage your Theta in this wallet. Boy, I spent a lot of time on that one, didn't I? Every now and then I get a little, I take a little longer than I should. Cryptography is confusing. Thanks, Rex. How did I end up with 888,888 kick tokens in my Coinbase wallet? I never bought them. One day they just appeared. Yes, I also have, where is this? As you can see, I also have 888,888 kick tokens. Kick token, that's a... let's see if we can find it here. Kick tokens down, kick token. Let's do kick token airdrop. Yeah. So kick token had an airdrop, and I don't know. I said kick. Anyway, they sent out that amount of kick tokens to a few 100,000 wallets that they use some kind of criterion on those wallets, like activity, that kind of stuff, and just randomly chose like 100,000, 200,000 wallets to just send this airdrop. The day I received it, it was worth $200, but it really wasn't available on any exchanges that I used. I had really no way to sell it. Now, as you can see, Ledger Live gives it a price. Ledger Live tells me it's worth $55, but I don't know where I'm going to sell that $55 worth of kick token. Let's see. Where do we go here? Oh, we wanted to go to all, right? There it is on CoinMarketCap. It's not worth very much, right? But apparently, well, let's see here. It can be... I don't know where you can buy and sell kick tokens. Never mind. Usually, like CoinGecko would give you... Let's look at that. Yeah, CoinGecko would usually give you some places that you can trade it. Right, here we go, KuCoin. So I guess the KuCoin, you can trade kick for BTC, or on CoinsBit, you can trade kick for ETH, or US dollars, or BTC. They have those trading pairs. But I'm not on either of these exchanges, and I figure just hang on to it, right? It might be worth something someday. Can you imagine if it goes to $1, right? Then you add 888,888 dollars, right? That's pretty cool. You just got randomly selected to receive an airdrop because you had a working Ethereum wallet. Don't use testnet Amber unless you're staking on the Guardian node. Okay. Okay, so it's not an ERC20. It's on its own blockchain, We can manage it with their Theta wallet here. You could create a standalone Theta wallet. But yeah, it's not an ERC20 token, but it still uses ERC20 type addresses, right? But yeah, it's like it's its own thing now. Yeah. Drop down to Ledger Live addresses to see and access your coins. Theta was on MEW as an ERC20 token. If you send them there now, they won't show up. You have to connect your ledger to Theta blockchain to get them off, right? You can buy Theta on Binance. Okay.
But don't do anything, right?
We got that, right? Yeah. We can buy it. Okay. Yeah, okay. Cool.
All right. Did you see those?
I guess that answers that. Right. Let's check our wallet. Did we get that Bitcoin yet? Ugh. What am I doing here? Okay. Let's collapse that. Oh yeah, we did. Okay. So cool. So we got our Bitcoin from crypto.com. So we can go, let's see, what am I doing here? Yeah, let's just double check. Crypto.com will probably say that it's still pending if I know crypto.com. Yeah, as far as crypto.com, it's still pending. But I see it in my wallet, right? So I'm going to assume that it's still confirming on the blockchain. But there, we did a pretty decent transfer from one to the other.
I'm going to record, okay?
Well, that worked out.
Making Obama roleplay. And then if I decide to post it, then I'm going to put
$129 worth of Bitcoin. Bitcoin's still cowering below 9,000. So we'll see what happens, right? Coin switch for Theta.
All right, wait, are you there?
It's a decentralized exchange. Yeah, coin switch.
You see the edit, right? All right, okay, good. I'm just waiting for Aiden to do that.
Coinswitch.cio.
Yes, I gave robotic permissions, yes.
Decentralized exchange, right? We can send
No, only robotic.
some Bitcoin and get some Theta.
I'm making the Obama roleplay.
Oh, thank you. Okay. All right, so is it going to let me? Oh, BTC to Theta conversion is not possible right now. I don't know why.
Oh, okay.
Maybe it's just a glitch. Let's refresh. No, I guess not. All right, I don't know what's going on, but yeah, CoinSwitch is a good platform. A little nerve-wracking, you know, because
Mommy's calling you. Okay. Be right back.
you kind of have to trust them in a certain way, you know. You've got an order number and everything, but it's a little nerve-wracking because it's decentralized, right? I'm sure it's all done by smart contracts anyway, so it's not a big deal. But you can send some Bitcoin to get some Theta back, and you would give them, right, well, we can't get past this because it's telling me that, okay, so it's okay with BNB, right? But for whatever reason, it's not. Well, let's see. What else? Well, let's try ETH, right? Maybe Ethereum. Let's try ETH for Theta. Whoops. Come on, Rex. Okay, let's try that. ETH to Theta conversion not possible right now. So I don't know if that's a temporary thing or a blockchain thing or whatever. I don't know what's going on. But I guess we could try. Well, I don't want to go there really. I was thinking buy it on Binance, but I don't have anything in Binance right now. So I would have to fund Binance with some Bitcoin or whatever, and that could take another 20 minutes for the Bitcoin to actually arrive in Binance, and by then you guys would have lost interest. I usually try to come into these things locked and loaded, and I knew that I had some Bitcoin in my crypto.com, so I use that. Sometimes I'll have some referral bonuses in Binance US that I can use. to like show you guys how to buy Bitcoin, but I don't have anything in Binance right now because we weren't really expecting to be on Binance. All right. Shaw. Okay, Shaw's got a question. Sorry, Shaw. Can I use UTF Ledger Nano S or Ledger X? Only if yes with Nano SU2F. Show us. How do you protect private key with a Ledger Nano S? Okay. All right. Yes, the Ledger Nano device can be used as a hardware key, but it's a little cumbersome to do so because normally a hardware key like this, like the YubiKey, if you're, let's say you're logging into your Gmail somewhere and it says, okay, enter your hardware key. You just plug this thing into your USB port, right? But if you set it up, if you set up your ledger as your hardware device, it's going to say, okay, plug in your key, and you're going to have to get out your ledger, you're going to have to plug it in, you're going to have to enter your PIN, you're going to have to go to the U2F app, and then. So it's a little more cumbersome to use it that way, but it can be used that way. So let's say, you know, you don't have any YubiKeys or anything else, and you got this ledger, and you're dying to use it as a two-factor authenticator hardware. All right. So let's see. What could I do? All right. I think I have an idea. Let's try that. So first of all, what we need to do is go over to Ledger Live and go to Ledger Manager and install the U2O app. All right. All right. So we need to get out of the Ethereum app. Quit. All right. We need to allow Ledger Manager. All right. Oh, I've already allowed it once, so it's okay. U2. Oh, there it is. FIDO U2F, right? So let's install FIDO U2F. All right, it's processing. All right, so let's find it. Where is it? I think it's that ID thing, right? Oh, come on. Oh, it's not done yet. Okay. Not quite done yet. All right. All right. FIDO U2F. Now let's see if we can find it, right? I think that's it. Yeah, there it is. Okay, so I'm going to go into that, right? Now it's ready for me to authenticate using this as my hardware device. I'm going to go back over here. We're going to get this out of the way now. We don't need Ledger Live, right? We got the app and we're in the app and we're ready to go. So let's go to, I think I did this earlier. Let's go ahead and go to GitHub. I have an account and I'm not that worried about it, right? Settings. All right, so I'm going to go down here to settings in GitHub. All right, now I'm going to go over here to security. And let's see. Okay. All right, so I have it configured for let's put this back up here. Thanks. All right, I have two-factor authentication enabled in my GitHub account. So let's see if we can add a security key. See what happens. All right, it wants my password. I can do that. Okay, it's on. Okay, there we go. Register new security key. Let's go ahead and do that. Enter a nickname. We'll call this one Ledger X. Right? And let's choose add and let's see what happens. Use your security key with GitHub. Insert. Oh, there it is. All right, it says register unknown. So let's go ahead and click both buttons. And boom, there it is. All right, register. And so that key is now, let's say I try to log into my GitHub account from somewhere else, right? And it wants me to insert my security key. Well, then I would connect my ledger. I would go to the U2 FIDO app. I would go in there, and once I was in the app, I would like try to log into GitHub in this case, and it would look for the device, and it would see here, and then this device is now acting as my hardware authentication device. I could do the same thing with other sites as well, right? I could do it for my Gmail. I could go to Gmail and say add hardware device and then use this guy if I wanted to. But like I said, it's kind of cumbersome to use this device for your two-factor authentication. Right? It's easier just to get yourself a little YubiKey, which you can just plug in when you need it, rather than connect, enter your PIN, go into the app. But if you're using it already for your crypto and you figure why not use it as your two-factor hardware device, it'll do it, right? It will work. So that's that. Whoops, let me go down here. Pretty cool, huh? Not bad. Okay. Wally. Okay. Wally. Thank you for the tip, Wally. I haven't upgraded my Ledger Nano S in a long time. What's the latest version of it? Or is it necessary to keep upgrading since there's Ledger Live? Let's go ahead and I'm going to exit. All right. Oops. I'm going to exit that to FIDO app, right? And I'm just going to disconnect this guy. Let's go back over to our Ledger S, right? Now, when I'm in the Ledger S, let's go back over to Ledger Live, and we'll go back to Manager. And hopefully it will work. I'm at the dashboard. Probably because I had the Ledger X. So I'm just going to disconnect and reconnect real quick. I'm going to enter my PIN. Hopefully I don't screw this up. Make you guys watch me enter PINs all night. All right, I got it. All right, so now it's probably going to say allow Ledger Manager. Boom. All right, now when you're in Ledger Manager and you have your device connected, the first thing that you should see up here is the latest version of the firmware, right? It's telling me the latest version of the firmware is 1.6.0. So if you haven't connected your Ledger S in a while, you probably want to make sure you're using the latest version of Ledger Manager. So launch Ledger Manager first, and if it tells you it needs to be updated, go ahead and update it. Over in Help here, it tells you the latest version of Ledger Live is 1.2.0, right? That's the latest version. If you're not running that, when you launch Ledger Live, usually there's like a little blue bar across the top that says there is an update available for Ledger Live, right? So make sure you're running the latest version of Ledger Live, and then go into your manager, and then at that point, it should indicate to you that your Ledger needs to upgrade firmware. And there'll be a little button over there on the side that says update firmware now, or something like that. And then you'll click that and follow the instructions. It's a little tricky because at one point they're going to ask you to disconnect and hold down the button and reconnect while you're holding the button. But if you carefully follow the directions, it should upgrade your Ledger Nano S device from within Ledger Live. And in answer to the other question, yes, you should diligently make sure that your device is running the latest firmware so that it has all of the because certain apps require the latest firmware, right? So, like the latest version of the Litecoin app might need the latest version of the firmware. So, you might have some Litecoin on there, and then when you try to run in Ledger Live, it's going to tell you it's not working or whatever, right? So, you should always have the latest version of Ledger Live running and the latest version of your Ledger firmware installed on the device for trouble-free operation. That'd be the way that goes. Oops. Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. I hope that answered your question, Wally. Are you excited for Cardano? You know what? I tried to run my Cardano rewards wallet earlier today, and it wasn't working, so I did a reset, but I haven't had a chance to restore from my rewards wallet. But I know that I'm still earning Cardano on their testnet. But yeah, I'm excited. Cardano is on the rise. Let's see here. Let's go to, well, I guess I closed that tab. Cardano is currently number 13. 4 cents has, like I said, it has been on the rise over the last week or two. Let's look at our 1 month chart for Cardano. So Cardano was kind of in the dumps. What are we looking at here? Yeah, like 3 cents. And here now we're up at a good 4.5, right? So from 3 cents to 4.5, that's quite a jump percentage-wise. So Cardano's on the rise. A lot of good things going on with Cardano. Always being updated. As I mentioned at the beginning, Cardano was $1 in 2017, just based on the excitement of it, right? And it hasn't lost any of its. It hasn't changed, right? It's still the same coin that is, scientifically very rigorously tested software and blockchain. Charles Hoskinson, who is the former a co-developer of Ethereum. So a lot of smart people working on Cardano, and yeah, it's an exciting project, right? And this, the next couple years could be, very groundbreaking for Cardano, right? We'll see if the price action reflects that, right? I wanted to also mention, back in 2017 and 18, the cryptocurrency market rose and fall very. It was like a scared child. Every good news that came out for crypto, whatever it was, would just make the markets go, ballistic, right? Any bit of bad news would make the markets just horribly dive. Any news like from China, China has outlawed cryptocurrency exchanges, or anything related to that, any kind, or the government, the U.S. wants to regulate any sort of bad news would just cause the market to just like jump up and down. But now I think the market has matured. At least cryptocurrency in general has matured to the point where it's not affected so much by the ups and downs of the market, right? A lot of people would, like Nouriel Roubini would come out with, a negative article about Bitcoin, and, people would rush to sell Bitcoin. It's not really like that anymore. The cryptocurrency market can withstand good and bad news much better than it did before. And so we're still getting a lot of negative people making comments about Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies A, being used by criminals, B, having no intrinsic value, not real money. You get it. Just all they're still out there bashing it, but it's just not having the effect that it did before, right? We're seeing a mature cryptocurrency market now because it's still around, right? Everyone thought that when it crashed in 2018 that was it, right? The bubble burst, right? But it's still here. It's still a thing, right? So the bad news is not rocking it as much as it did before. All right. And yes, be very careful of any kind of scams, any kind of, they say there's a lot of cryptocurrency scams out there. Well, there are a lot of scams out there in general, right? That are going to take advantage of people, no matter what it is. It can be, a bingo scam. It can be a gambling scam. It can be a, housing scam. There's scams everywhere. And just because they're using cryptocurrency wealth or riches to lure you in doesn't necessarily mean it's directly related to cryptocurrency, right? Now, there are some cryptocurrency scams, but there's a lot of scams that just say, hey, send me some Ethereum and I'll double it for you. Your red flag should go up. Whenever someone says they're going to make you rich and all you have to do is send them some money, don't do it, right? It's the same old thing. Do you remember those email scams, from Africa, or I forget what that country was. Nairobi, I guess it was back in the day. The Nairobian prince that had like $10 million and he couldn't move it. So he wanted you to like open up a bank account so that he could send you his $10 million so you could hold it for him. It preyed on people's greed. And it always, it sounded great, but then when it came down to the brass tacks, it was, well, I need you to open this bank account for me, so send me, $1,000 so we can get all the paperwork in order. It was just like, come on, seriously. Anybody that promises you the moon, and then the next thing out of their mouth is send me some money or some Bitcoin or some Ethereum, you should know better. Don't fall for it. If someone says, I want to help you learn to invest in cryptocurrency, and you feel that you might get something out of their course or whatever, more power to you. If you would rather do your own research, do your own research. But don't fall for these things where they're saying, deposit a certain amount of crypto in this account, and I'm going to double your money or triple your money or whatever. That's always a scam, right? Anytime they want you to send them any crypto, don't. It's just all there is to it. And then there's a lot of scams out there where they're telling you that you can make a bunch of money mining Bitcoin. Anybody that tells you can profitably mine Bitcoin in 2020 is lying, right? The only way to profitably mine Bitcoin is to go out and buy a bunch of specialized hardware Bitcoin mining machines that cost thousands and thousands of dollars, and then you've got to build a special room with cooling, and you're going to use up a bunch of power, and you might break even if you're smart. But don't fall for any scams where they say, join up our website, and we'll mine Bitcoin for you in the cloud. Just send us $500 worth of Bitcoin and you'll double your money, and don't fall for that stuff. Yes, you are your own bank, right? You saw me withdrawing from cryptocurrency exchanges and putting Bitcoin in my own wallet. That's really the best way to do it. Now, if you're mega rich and you're buying millions of dollars worth of Bitcoin, then maybe cryptocurrency custody might be a better solution for you, right? If it's a legitimate type of company. There are a lot of, big companies that are catering to the rich, and they have fail safes in place, right? Biometric identification, that kind of stuff. But if you're an average Joe like me, and you want to buy and hold some crypto, you know, figure out how to use your own wallet, right? Much, much better, safer, and secure than storing it on Coinbase or BINANCE US or Crypto.com. Those are great platforms for purchasing and trading, but long-term storage, use your own wallet. And if you have any questions about how you do any of this stuff, look down in the description. I've got a bunch of links to all my Ledger Nano videos, right? And then also, if you're like, hey, how do I buy Cardano? Like, just Google CryptoDad Cardano, right? And you'll see a bunch of my videos on anything dealing with Cardano, right? Or let's say CryptoDad's Stellar, right? Check that out, right? I got a bunch of videos on how you manage Stellar, right? So CryptoDad Bitcoin, you'll probably get a bunch of those, right? All kinds of CryptoDad Bitcoin videos. CryptoDad Google Authenticator. It auto completes. Hey, I'm an auto completer, right? CryptoDad Google Authenticator, right? Bunch of crypto videos on Google Authenticator. Let's try Lost Phone, right? Google Authenticator Lost Phone. Let's put CryptoDad in there. There's this is my up and coming video.
Hey guys, CryptoDad.
For how to recover your Google Authenticator codes when you lose your phone, right? I got 26,000 views. I put it up in October. That's a lot of views for me, right? I have to like toot my own horn on this particular video. I'm pretty proud of it. It's really been, you know, and it's not a viral video, right? It just slow and steady wins the race, accumulates views on a regular basis. So if you're into crypto, if you have questions about Google Authenticator, two-factor authentication, privacy and security, let's try CryptoDad Tor. Right? I got all kinds of videos on how to use the Tor browser, right? So check that stuff out too. All right, guys, getting down towards the end. It's good to have everybody here. Great talking with you guys. If I didn't get to your question, I apologize. Sorry if I bored you on some of these topics that weren't about Bitcoin to the moon, but there's more to Bitcoin than just the price action, right? The underlying technology of cryptography is just a wonderful, amazing thing, and I love talking about it. So, what happens if it happens? Zilka Telegram source, someone said, admin asking how many Ethereum deposit to US. I don't want, he said, not send exchanges. From here, I saw something not normal. He wants to steal. I work hard. Yes, Shaw, please don't send crypto to anyone on Telegram. All right. Okay, guys, I got to move out. Don't forget, we do this every Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Throw out questions. I'll do my best to get them answered. We'll talk about the news, the price action. We'll move some Bitcoin around. If you're interested in the basics, I've been doing Tuesday morning, 9:10 Eastern Standard Time, Bitcoin Basics, where we talk about what is Bitcoin, what is blockchain, what is a wallet, you know, that kind of stuff. Join me for that too. And then subscribe to my channel so you can get alerted when I post new videos. If you like this particular video, give me a thumbs up. If you'd like to subscribe to this channel, I would appreciate it. When you subscribe, there's a little bell there that you can click that will allow you to be alerted whenever I post new content. Once again, thanks for joining me and hope to see you again soon.